vibe right. Let's see. I gotta get me a candle started. Y'all, I make compost water. So if you don't know what compost is, it's basically trash. It's taking like scraps of any natural foods that you are not using. So anything grown from the earth itself. And making a soil out of it. But since I don't have an actual like yard or space to get a compost bin and have it to where it's not, the smell and stuff is not coming into my home, I have to make compost water. So I just take jars, like mason jars, and whatever scraps like onion peels, banana peels, garlic peels, just anything that is natural, the ends of your celery, bell peppers, whatever. I put those into my jars and fill it up with water, let it sit for a couple of weeks until it's like potent, and then I put that into a big ass jug, all the jars of water into a big ass jug, and then like scrap the actual onion peels and stuff like that, because I'm just looking for the nutrients to release into the water, and then I use that to water my plants, because you put nutrients back into your plants, just like how you need to feed your nutrients with yourself, all that good shit. So anyways, long story short, I gotta light these candles around this bitch because I just watered all my plants and it stank. Oh my gosh, like that's the worst part about it. But I mean, like, the smell goes right away once you got a good candle or some incense or something. You good to go. But yeah, so I got a couple of plants around here just smelling up the place. So light my candle. I got my wine. I'm good to go. Let me go ahead and press record on the podcast. I love to start my episodes with a deep breath because I'm just releasing any type of negative energy, any type of energy that is not conducive to me, to the progress of the show, of this particular episode. I just want to start off with a nice deep breath, and one day I'm going to do breath work exercises for an episode. That would be great. So y'all get to see me behind the scenes. So the way I got my camera set up, it's kind of fucked up because my little tabletop tripod, my phone is too heavy, so it keeps tipping over. So it's literally sitting on top of the computer top and whatnot and leaning, and I just got it perfect. This is literally the angle that I wanted, so we're just gonna leave it alone. Okay. Anyways, let me go ahead and get this started. Let's go ahead and introduce this show on in. Hi. Welcome to the Nudist Diary podcast. I am your host, Dree, also known as the Sacred Genie. Thank you so much for joining in today. I really, 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 really appreciate y'all for listening and hearing what the fuck I have to say in my diary. This is literally my own personal Moesha moment, having this podcast. Like, it's my dear diary. Like, I'm literally happy. I'm excited. This is fun. This doesn't feel like I'm putting in too much effort, or not. There's never too much effort for something that you love, right? But it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like I have to rush and scramble and find things to talk about. No, I'm just naturally talking about things that are coming up in my brain, or things that I just literally experienced or whatever, and talking about it with you guys and what I learned from it and all that good shit. So today's topic, I had a couple of things that I could talk about, but I think because I'm kind of, on a high from the festivities of the weekend from New Year, we're going to talk about just New Year in general, like not necessarily this New Year, but just in general, what New Year brings, and and some of the toxic shit that you feel like you wanted to leave behind in the previous years and years before that, and resolutions, visions, whatever it is that you want to call it. I just want to talk about all of that shit because I used to make resolutions. I did, but I didn't. Like, I wasn't very hard on it every year. It would be like if somebody said, oh yeah, my New Year's resolution is, I would be like, oh yeah, I got a New Year resolution. It's going to be this. It was never intentional. It was never any true thought put behind it. So I never really was into the resolutions like that. So I like to just talk, or not talk, but I like to just basically plan ahead is what it is that I do, or create visions. So like how people do vision boards, I don't even do all of that. Sometimes I do. I've done it before, and they're very, very resourceful. I like them. It's something that you can see. I love that. I love that for people who that feel that they help out with them, because it's really, really good. You do what works for you. But for me personally, I like to journal, or I will it stays in my head. Like certain things I can not remember. I used to smoke quite a bit of weed, and I'm a lightweight at that. So my brain be fried sometimes. But when it comes to things that are memorable, or like great memories that I create with people, or memorable experiences, or things that are very, very important to me, this is on the top of that, like I have to make I don't make New Year resolutions. I just literally just speak out into existence what I want to happen. And you know what, let me actually, can't see because the phone is in the way of the computer, so let me see. There we go. So I just literally just say it. I manifest it. And I say that this is what's going to happen this year. I see it. I see it for myself. And I work towards it. Sometimes I don't. So that means that there wasn't no intention behind it. But this year was different. I put intention behind it. I started New Year's Eve. I did go out. I had fun. I didn't go out. I went over a friend's family's house. They're like my family too. And we had like a kickback type of situation. It was lit. It was fun. We were all having a joyous fucking time. I really enjoyed myself. But before that, I did a meditation. I cried, boo-hooed, honey. Also, I am going through some things right now, and they started right before New Year's Eve. So I cried because of that too, but I did a tarot reading on myself, just to see what the year will bring. Also to see what I need to do to move forward, how to move forward, all of those things. Did a moon reading on myself. I did a lot just to get some answers from the ancestors and spirit guides. And that it opened up, some deep shit for me. And one of my visions for this year, and that's why I don't do resolutions, because it gives you the impression that as soon as the first of the year hits, you have to stick with this regimen. And it's like, first of all, can we get in the groove? Can we find our regimen? You may have planned it out. Some people don't plan it out. They just say, I'm going to stop drinking. And then on the first, if they have one drink, they're like, fuck, I fucked up. Like, because you didn't put any intention behind it. You didn't plan it. And you didn't give yourself room for growth. This is a growth thing. Any resolution or vision that you put forth is a growth experience. So you're not going to just automatically like turn on a switch and then expect for your habits that you do every day to just change. Like, I feel like a lot of people put this pressure on themselves, and that's usually what gets you to stop. That's what you put all this pressure on yourself, and then you're like, well, fuck it. I already done fucked up a couple of times, one time, so I'm gonna just try it again next year. And then you never do it because why? Like, you can, that's why I don't even like resolutions there too, because like a lot of people, they act like they have to wait for a full new year or a full new week or new month to do something when you could just do it right then and there. If it's something that you really want to do, you can start planning at least for it. Because I mentioned on a previous episode that, you know, you can't just quit a habit like that. It takes time. Just like how it took time for you to build that habit, it's going to take time for you to, you know, change up. So I don't know, like, when it comes to the whole new year, new me shit, do people even still say that? But when it comes to that, I deviate from that because I don't want to put pressure on myself. I don't want to. It's good to have, like, markers, I feel like, you know, like, to track your progress, but to put pressure on myself, like hard pressure, and not allow myself grace and room for growth, I think that's where we fuck up at. I really do. So my resolution or vision for myself this year is to create more spaces where, or not create, but only enter in spaces that are genuine for me. That's one of them. And that's the biggest one, honestly. Like, I feel like in the past with relationships, friendships, family relationships, all of that, I've allowed so much to go on. I didn't stand firm on my boundaries, and it made me feel very small. It made me also feel like I didn't value myself as much as I should, or I say that I do. Because why are you engaging in these relationships that are not fruitful for you, that are not feeding you? So I did not want to start off the new year with sex. I didn't want to start off. I even told all my friends, like, I'm gonna just fuck at the end of this. Like, at the end of 2020, I had a couple of niggas or whatever. Oh, my thingy fell off. I had a couple of niggas still. And I was like, I'm cutting all these niggas off. And which I did. I actually, the ones that I don't want to communicate with anymore, the ones that I don't want to have access to my energy anymore, I successfully cut them off so far. We're still new year, we're still beginning. But it's going great, and I'm not going to doubt myself that this is going to last, for sure, because they weren't that meaningful for me anyway. But I told all my friends that I'm going to fuck one last time. Not all these niggas, but I'm going to have a good ass time, at least, before the new year start. And did I get that opportunity? No. I was salty. One of them I did, and he's not actually one that I'm cutting off, but we had a beautiful, beautiful experience. And then here comes New Year's Eve, and a friend of mine was like, this is what we're going to do this year. We're going to do 4 weeks of no sex. I'm like, why? I mean, like, I can do it. That's fine. And then especially since I cut off my partners and shit like that. Well, most of them. So that wasn't a biggie to me. But, she was like, you know, we don't need to have any more meaningless people in our lives. And that was basically along the lines of what I was discussing, you feel me, that I wanted for myself. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's not shit. Let's go ahead. Okay, so I drinking wine, took a couple of shots. Oh, it's the end. It's New Year now. Oh, Happy New Year. Ball drop. I'm twerking. I'm feeling myself. I get, of course, a fucking text from one of the guys that I had not even considered. Like, oh yeah, you need to get rid of him too. So I didn't even block him rest of them I blocked, but I didn't get the chance to block him. So, what's that? Coco? I hear something. I thought I heard a squeak. But, I didn't even get a chance to block him. And so, oh, there you are. So, he ended up texting me, and I had not seen him in so long, and I remembered having amazing sex with him. And he temporarily moved out of the state, so it was like no point of even trying to make anything happen with him, or, you know, so that's why I kind of forgot about it. But it was nothing romantic between the two of us. It was literally just a physical attraction, and it was a good physical attraction. Like, hey, whatever. Text me, and all that shit that I was talking with my friend goes out the window. Of course. We're setting shit up. We're getting it together. I'm like, I'm gonna be home in about 15, 20 minutes. It's like, I'll meet you there. I said, okay, bet. And came in on a new year on some dick. Yeah. Lordy Lord. It's wild out here. And I give myself grace because, like, I wasn't expecting it to be a thing where, like, oh, it's the fucking new year. I have to cut everyone off. I can't have sex. Can't do this, that. No, that's just a thing that I plan to do for this year. I know I'm a fuck up sometimes. I'm gonna have my weaknesses, and I give myself room to do so. I'm not saying, like, I'm gonna just go ahead and just continue to fuck up, like, intentionally, but I don't put that pressure on myself, you feel me? So that, at least, it was a great time. It was worth the fuck up. I'm not even gonna lie. So we're gonna get into that a little bit and how great that session was. So first of all, this person texted me I never saved this person's number. That's how insignificant our relationship is. And I'm not trying to down that person. So if they ever listen, I'm not saying that you're not shit. You definitely are. It's just that I know that we were there for a good time, not a long time. I wasn't. I know you weren't. So what's the point of saving numbers? So a few months ago, they text me out the blue, and in the text messages, I'm scrolling trying to see if the name is at least in there somewhere, and it's not. So I'm like, fuck. Well, who is this? So I hate having that awkward question of who is this? And they were like, it's such and such. Or, you know how people get fake offended, like, oh, you don't even have my number or something like that. And I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, you know, I have so many numbers. Or maybe I probably made up a lie and said that I switched phones. That's people's favorite shit. Like, I got a new phone. Like, I don't know what I said, but he was like, it's such and such. And I'm like, who? And so he said this name, but I had to, then he was like, you know, the dude you was fucking for a period of time, da, 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 da. He had to really lay it out who he was. And I was like, oh, I never knew you as that name. Boy, why are you giving me this name? That's not even your real name. That's your nickname that you give that your homies call you. Like, why did I say homies? Nobody says homies. That your niggas call you. Like, what the fuck? Like, that threw me the fuck off. And I'm like, I ain't fucked like that this year. Like, the fuck? I ain't been on some shit, but what the hell? So that kind of, like, threw me the fuck off. So this was a couple of months ago when this conversation happened. So New Year's night or morning or whatever comes through, and we take a shot together. I'm already a little lit. Well, it kind of wore off by then, so we both take like a shot or two, and we go upstairs, and we pretty much get straight to business. Like, He's so hot to me. Like, the body, the physique, the way he looks at me, the way he talks. He's a little low-key shy, or at least that's how he talks. I don't think there's anything shy about him, but the dick is beautiful. It's nice. It's good. Good as fuck. Not even gonna lie. It's ex-con dick. But, it's really amazing. And this nigga had it felt like a vendetta against my pussy or something. And then while he's fucking me, he's like, oh, I bet you remember me now. And why, this is payback. Basically saying, he didn't say this is payback, but he was basically saying along the lines, like, this is payback for, you forgetting who the fuck I am. I know, I'm gonna make sure you know who the fuck I am now. He's talking shit. And I don't remember him talking shit from before when we were fucking. He wasn't this vocal. I think he was silent, as a matter of fact. Like, not really talking at all. So, for him to talk all this shit, it's getting me hot. I love shit talking if it's done correctly and genuinely. Like, I don't want you to just be forcing some shit. This nigga really had a vendetta or something against me because it worked out perfectly. Like, god damn, like, shit. I'm over here apologizing like, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to. Look, when you giving daddy dick, I will even say daddy. If you tell me that this pussy is yours, I will lie to you temporarily and tell you that it is yours. Then I'll immediately, afterwards, tell you it's not really yours. Like, you know that, right? Like, we was just in the heat of the moment. Like, I ain't gonna be that bitch to tell you, that lie to y'all and be like, I don't ever tell these niggas that it's not they pussy. I do. I lie like a motherfucker. And they know I'm lying, because they know that I'm not... We're not together. They know, I've even had a nigga tell me, like, I know it's not mine, but just tell me it is. Like, basically, the Miguel song, tell me that this pussy is mine, even though, like, shit, like, you know what the fuck it is. So, it was just, I hate to sound cliche, I hate to sound like the movie, but it was like his dick just talks to me. That motherfucker. Then I sucked the fuck out of it. Like, I sucked the shit, the cum out of that man, like, leaving him soulless. Like, it was just... That was a great session. An amazing time. And oh God, I should not be talking to y'all. Nah, this is my diary, and y'all are part of it. I don't mind it at all, but it was just wild how that came to be. And I don't regret it. I don't beat myself up about it at all. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. I can't believe that I was about to give that up. So, therefore, there are 2 niggas on my roster right now. Just 2. Only 2. That are getting a pass this year so far. Until they're no longer having a pass. So, I'm doing really, really well already for the year. Like, yeah. One of the guys that I had to cut off, I was very, very saddened because we were friends. Like, true friends. Actually, both of them. Amazing human beings. So I thought. I am still salty about it. Because we had more than just, like, the sex element, to be honest. And I know, like I said, like, they weren't shit. It's more of they weren't shit as far as, like, we weren't going to be anything. I knew that wasn't going to lead to anywhere, like, a relationship. And that's fine, because I didn't want that from them. I didn't want to ruin the friendship piece of it. But it still ended up being ruined because, like, now I'm just having an epiphany. Like, that's fucked up. Like, these are my dogs. And I made them both wait for a long time before I even gave them some. Like, I've known these 2 people since I was a teenager. I'm almost 30. I'm about to be 30 in 3 months. Like, that's so fucked up. I made y'all wait almost, one of them at least 15 years, the other one at least 10. Yeah, I met him at like 18, 19. So, yeah, like, I made y'all wait this long to get my pussy. And then when y'all start getting it, y'all start acting a damn plumb fool. Like, you not doing the same shit you was doing before. Like, what the fuck? I thought we had a connection just based off of the friendship. And that just lets you know. Like, and we had sexual compatibility like a motherfucker. So I guess that we weren't on that level. And I don't beat myself up about it. Shit, I know my pussy good, my head good, their head was good, the pussy, the dick was great. Like, we shared great moments. So that's why I'm just so confused on where the fuck the disconnect even happened. So when I cleared them, I set them free. Like, I set them free as far as for me. Like, I set my expectations for them free. I also set me free as far as like my mental health around the whole situation, because I was kind of fucked up about it. Like I was in my head like, what did I do? What did I do that was that could have? It's nothing that I did. Nothing that I did. Nothing that I did. So it told me that it was fuck ups. Like, you fucked up a good ass time. You fucked up a good ass person. You fucked over a good ass person. Like, that's on you. And you gotta take that loss. You gotta take that loss. So, but yeah, so back to the New Year night. New Year night. So yeah, so very lovely gowns, lovely dick, whatever, you know. It was just an amazing time, and I don't regret. I say all of this to just say that I don't regret starting my year off the way that I said that I was not going to start it off. And it's not just because the dick was good. It's because, like, I gave myself permission. It was consensual. It was warranted. And once I seen that text message come through from a number that I had not seen in a while, it's like, oh yeah, you're getting... I knew as soon as I got that message that he was getting the pussy tonight. I knew exactly that he was. And I was not going to hold back. We were going to have nasty sex, at least on my part. So that was amazing, and I needed that though. Like, I needed it very bad. But I do think that was what I was talking about on the last episode. Like, that was absolutely a distraction from, like I said, I was going through some shit already. And I used that as a distraction. I'm not even going to say I used it as a distraction, but I was already, because I was drunk. That's part of the reason why I went along with it. But I know that, like I said, we're not going to ever go anywhere. That's not the type of person. I mean, it could, but that's not what I want from that person. That's not why I picked them out. That's not why we flirted. We knew what we were going to get down to business. Like, one thing about me, I've always been that type of girl where I know where I stand off rip. I know where I stand with you, and I know where you are going to stand with me. And I will never try to force anything more or less with our situation. Now, if something naturally happens, that's different, you know. But to force something that is not there, I am not that girl. I don't want companionship that damn bad. I do want companionship, but I'm not going to ever force you to feel the way that I feel. That's just a hell no. Because I don't want nobody to do that shit to me. I don't. So, yeah, so another thing that I wanted to talk about is about the same situation with the same guy. Because we ended up fucking again the next night. Great again. However, this time he brought Henny Dick. Why the fuck is that still a thing? Fellas, get rid of the Henny Dick. Like, some women like it, though. I'm not going to say just get rid of it, but at least warn a bitch. Don't bring that shit around me. I don't know what to do with that. I am getting older, and I don't do these long, drawn-out sessions anymore, especially if I gotta work the next morning, which I had to do, or I thought I did. I thought I had to work, and I ended up not having to work. But either way, I don't want to fuck you all fucking night. You don't come all fucking night. I'm putting in my best tricks. You telling me, oh, I'm about to bust, and you end up not busting because you got Henny Dick at this point. Like, stop. I don't want that. I done came like quite a few times, which is great. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to keep fucking you. Because soon I'm going to get bored. I'm going to get tired. My pussy's going to get worn out. Like, oh, God, stop, please. It's going to dry up on you. I ain't even going to lie, because I'm not even going to be into it anymore. It's just like, I'm just fucking you just for you at this point. And I don't fuck for other people. I fuck for me first. So, I wasn't pleased with that. Like, that kind of pissed me off. And that was a rough night. Like, and when I say a rough night, the sex was rough. I hadn't had rough sex like that in a long time. And don't get me wrong, I like rough sex, but I wasn't. I think because we had kind of a rough sex night the night before, I wasn't really wanting to do it again, like in a row. Like, at that point, I needed more sensuality. Even though I knew what type of time we were on, I should have spoke up. That's one thing. I should have said this at the beginning, like before we even fucked. But that ended up being why we stopped, because like, you got Henny Dick and I don't want to do rough sex. And I was still a little bit sore from the night before. Like, literally, y'all can't see it. It's like, if it's still sore up here on my chest, like right above my right titty. It feels like there should be a bruise right there. It still hurts. And it's because, like, oh, I love how he did it, though. Oof, it's like I got a love-hate relationship, because the after effects suck. He took his hands, put them on. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see. But he took his hands while he was on top of me, fucking the shit out of me. Ugh. And placed them on my titties. And, like, sometimes, well, not sometimes, but he literally, like, pressed down. So he's, like, pushing his weight onto my titties. And he's not rough, like, it's not, like, carelessly fucking me, but it felt great. Like, thrusting is just, like, a little hard and good. And he's pressing hard on me with his body weight, upper body weight. And at the time, it doesn't feel like shit. And I like asphyxiation. I can never say that word right. So, like, shortness of breath. I like being choked. I like not being able to breathe for real. So that kind of played into that, because my titties are at this point up at my neck. Hope y'all don't see my titties. I can't get flagged on YouTube. But my titties are, like, now at this point on my neck and kind of starting to make me choke. So that asphyxiation gets me very wet, like even wetter. It makes me come. So I'm coming while he's doing this, but the after effects, I'm bruised, like, internally, I guess, at this point, because there was never any bruising left, and it hurts so bad. Like, when I say I'm sore, it's from that. It's also from, I guess I'm gonna get into detail with y'all. Dear Diary, come and take a sip with me. Y'all know the drill. Woo! Cab. Love me some Cabernet. But, so, He's fucking me from behind. And then he reaches around, grabs me, and chokes me that way. So at this point, because I remember, like, when we first started fucking, like, months ago, it was good, like I said. But, of course, you got to tell people how you like it. And so I told him, like, I love to be choked. I like to be slapped. I think I remember telling him that stuff while we were fucking. So, but it took him some time to build up to fully just doing it on his own without me telling him. Well, this time, it was different. He was doing it all. And I think, like I said, that vendetta against me. He was slapping the fuck out of my ass. I still got a little booty. It's not big yet, but it's a little booty. Slapping the fuck out of it. Like, I had the juiciest, fattest ass in the world. And I appreciated that. It made me feel seen. Made this ass seen. Oh, God. Like, for real. Like, it was so good. So good. And then choking me from behind. So I felt, you know, like up in here. Can you see that? Is that from that? I don't think that is. I think that's like, I don't know. I got like this random like dark spot on the front of my, maybe that is. No, I think that's been there. Look at me. But yeah, so it's choking me from behind, and I could feel the tension around my neck afterwards. Like, I feel that to this day. And that's how we was getting down, honey. That is literally how we were getting down, and I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad about the soreness. I wish I would have stretched more, because I did do a little bit of stretching, because I was still sore from twerking from New Year night, and then our first session that night, and then to come back the next day trying to fuck and do it all over again. I knew I needed to stretch, so I definitely stretched, which you should do regardless. You should always stretch before fucking. If you can, do it after too, but most likely you're gonna be asleep. Just make sure you pee first. But yeah, it was just a lot, and I was just, I'm still recovering. I don't even want to think about sex. Like, my perineum is on, and you know what perineum is. That's the skin between your vagina and your anus. For men, it's the skin between your balls and your anus, otherwise known as the gooch. So my perineum is on fire. It's not as bad as it was, but it was definitely getting worked. It was getting worked. It feels, oh Lord. But yeah, so that was, I wanted to talk about just rough sex in general, and how, you know, like, the beat the pussy up culture is a thing. Like, I feel like growing up, when we were learning about sex, I mentioned this before, it was mostly about the diseases and pregnancy, but we never learned about how to have orgasms, what an orgasm looks and feels like, how to fully get aroused as women, how to penetrate, you know, as a man. Like, how do you accurately penetrate a woman? Like, how to have conversations around sex and desires and stuff and kinks. Like, we didn't have that growing up. So we were taught about sex through porn that doesn't accurately depict real sensual sexual relationships and how they should go, obviously. Like, we're relying on entertainment here at this point that is completely inaccurate, not showing the pleasure of a woman, showing pain. It looks more like, now that when I look back at porn, like the shit that I used to watch, like with Pinky and them, it looked painful. None of that looks joyous. I can't even watch a lot of that porn. Like, the only type of porn from back in the day that I can watch is lesbian porn, and it has to be a good one. But I can't watch like the partnered heterosexual type of porn, because it just looks like they were in agony, to be honest. A lot of the time they didn't look wet. a lot of the times they did not look wet. And I'm like, I know that shit hurts. They're not even using lube. And then especially when it comes to anal. Oh, God, no. So, we didn't get the right type of sex education. And we have songs that come out that talk about beating the pussy up. And at the beginning of this, you'll hear, or you've heard by now, Beat the Pussy Up by the Yin Yang, or not Beat the Pussy, that's not the name of it, Whisper Song by the Yin Yang Twins, because I thought that was going to be so appropriate for this episode, because that's shit like that. We have, like, lingo literally telling you to beat the pussy up, which is, it comes in handy when it's that time, but there's a certain way to beat the pussy up. You don't just jackhammer it. You never jackhammer it. Please don't jackhammer my pussy. You need to go and stroke. You need to still start off with slow stroked and work your way up to, you feel me, getting that groove and then thrusting harder. That's beating the fucking pussy up, for me, at least. I can't tell you what to do for every woman, but to literally have good sex and sex that, I don't even know how to really describe it, but the correct way to treat the vagina without injuring it and shit literally is not by beating the pussy up. You can injure it. You can throw something out of place. You can really fuck somebody up if you're not doing shit right. There's been women literally that have been fucked up. So you should never be fucked up, and it should never be painful. Like, if anything, the pain should come from the impact. Like, when you're in, the shit that I just said that I'm going through, like that type of shit is the pain that I want to feel, at least. I don't want to feel pain in my vagina. That's a sensitive, first of all, the vagina is a very sensitive and delicate flower. You can throw off our pH balance. You can tear our vagina. Like, no, I don't want to feel, this is supposed to be a pleasurable experience. I don't want to be feeling this days after, even a day after. Like, I mean, I've gotten soreness, yes, because, you know, you're working it. You're working your muscles. Just like when you work out, you get a little sore. You're working these muscles for sure, but I don't want to feel, I don't want to feel defeated. I don't want to feel depleted in the pussy. Like, you should never feel like that. You should never be in pain. If you're in pain, then you need to figure out what is the cause, whether it is this nigga fucking the shit out of you the wrong way, or if it's the position that you're in is not comfortable. Like, you should never feel that type of pain physically like that in your pussy. So I just wanted to just talk about that. Like, I'm just glad that I have experienced, because I have had that type of sex in the past. Like, when I didn't know myself, when I didn't know that, oh, you're not supposed to feel that. Like, I did have those types of intercourses. Like, I'm not saying like that is non-existent. Like, I'm just some bitch that just came out of here and knows exactly how to fuck. Nothing like that. But now that I know better, I completely do better, and I communicate these needs to my partner. So I'm just glad that I've grown from that, and now it allows me to orgasm. That's one of the things that was holding me back from an orgasm, is not focusing on my pleasure, not realizing that pain should not be a part of your pleasure in that way. Just learning about myself. So I really value that. Like, I wish I had those conversations with my mom. I don't know if she even knew, you feel me, these facts. I don't know. And I really don't want to have that type of conversation about her own sex life. That would have been awkward, but no, but seriously, I really do wish that I had those conversations. And those are the conversations that I want to definitely carry on to my kids. Like, because obviously they're not doing what they need to be doing in classes teaching about sex. So I'm going to have to teach my kids. Because if my fucking son is out here fucking bitches the wrong way, I'm going to be so disappointed as a mom. Like, you motherfucker, your mom is a whole ass sexologist out here, and you over here just doing the wrong shit. Like, what the fuck? No, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. But or whoever they choose to have engage with. But yeah. So that was all that I had. I really that was the bulk of what I wanted to talk about. It really wasn't supposed to be about resolutions, but it just so happened that that was a resolution or whatever that I had, to just have more meaningful relationships, more meaningful connections. And I will have that. I will have that. And I know what I deserve. I know what I want. Sometimes I just want a nut. And I'm moving out of that, though. I don't give a fuck about that. I can give my own self a nut. It's just that nut that I needed. I needed to run that shit back because I knew that was going to be a good time. But I don't want to carry on that energy from just anybody. And he wasn't just anybody. But you feel me? Like, when you just fucking just to fuck, you're not even realizing the energy that you're taking on from that person. Luckily, this was a positive person. And I like to surround myself around positive people. And the partners that I choose to do so with. For the most part. I'm not going to say everyone has been a positive patty in my life. Like, sometimes I feel like I need to be a therapist for these niggas. And I'm not. And I won't be. But some of these niggas be real life depressing. And I have taken on that energy. I have. And it's like, whoa, your life is going good. Why are you feeling like this? Why are you feeling so low? Like, why do you hate the world right now? Oh, you fucked what's his face last week. And you know he going through some shit. And doesn't want to do anything to get him out of that shit. Bam. There it goes, girl. Like, sis, get your shit together. Why are you doing that to yourself? And so, like, when I blocked and told said person that they were no longer going to be on my roster, basically, I didn't say it like that, but it was a little bit of surprise. Like, why are you cutting me off? Da, da, da. But your energy, and I know you probably listening, maybe you're not, I don't know, but I love you. I really do love you, because you are still my friend, first and foremost. But that's just something that we can't explore anymore. And I'm glad that we finally got a chance to explore each other and have those moments. But baby, never again. I ain't even gonna say, I hate saying never, but I don't intend to ever again. And I won't make that happen. I won't. That's just too risky for me. My mental health, my sanity, my spiritual well-being, all of that is at risk. I can't do that. But I won't say never, because you have the agency, you have the permission, you have the room to grow. And who knows if we meet again. Now I feel like a fucking love novel. Is this The Notebook or some shit? But if our paths shall cross again, that's not to say that we can't try that shit again. This is one thing that my spiritual advisor / my aunt told me, is to never, like, feel like, and she told me this because I was telling her about, walnut baths. If you're not familiar with what a walnut bath is, it's a bath made of black walnuts. It's a black walnut bath. It's made with black walnuts, something rare that you have to find in certain areas of the country. And they are, like, pretty much soaked and all of the black tar from not tar, but the color and everything, the nutrients or whatever you want to call it, is extracted into the water. And you can use this for what's called cord cutting. So if there's a person, place, or event, most people use it for cutting people off indefinitely. Like, this will cut them away from you. You will never have communication with them again. I still have mine that I bought like 2 years ago. I still have it in the refrigerator, and I have not used it. I had it for a specific reason, but when I had this conversation with my aunt, she was saying, like, that's very interesting because I never heard of this. But when I feel like I definitely believe with spirit, if they want that person to come back into your life, whether you need them or they need you for any type of reason, because you are sent here to be a teacher, a leader, all of this stuff. Who are you to cut them off and cut them off from what it is that they need? And that stuck with me. So I have not used that black walnut bath ever since that conversation. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I don't want to put any type of spell on, you know, what or any type of, what am I trying to say? Like, I don't want to put any type of thing on, I can't even think of the word that I'm trying to think of. Like, I don't want to diminish or take away from me helping someone in any type of way, whether it's an old foe, friend, relationship, whatever. I don't want to end it when I can be of service to them, when they need me the most, because that's what I'm here for on earth. I know that is my purpose, and I've done a lot of self-work a lot of self-work to figure out that that's my purpose on life, is to help people, to teach people, and to be a leader. You know, I'm an Aries sun, Sag moon, and a Leo rising. I'm all fire, all leadership, all spontaneity, all of that shit is me. I mean, and then also I have some water in my chart. But so that's how I know that I'm here to be a leader. I know that I'm here to help. So I don't want to do that. But baby, if you draining my energy, you're gonna get cut off in some kind of way. Even if I don't do a black walnut bath, baby, you're getting cut the fuck off. You're not gonna drain me of my energy, baby. No, never. Ghetto. So yeah. I fuck with that. I fuck with what she said with that. So thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. You know, I look so good right now. Like, I got the purple Fenty, Savage Fenty bralette on, lace down, honey. And then I got my butterflies. I discovered over last summer how much I love butterflies. I never, like, as a kid, I think I was scared of them because, like, I got close enough to see how they looked, like, too close, and it looked creepy to me at the time. But now they've been really, really swarming in on my back deck, and I take it. I know there's different spiritual meanings behind it, depending on what you believe, what religion that you are, or whatever. I don't identify with the religion, but the main thing about butterflies is, and really with anything spiritually connected, it's what you take from it. It's not even what a whole group of people identify with that one thing, but it's what you identify. And so with me, there was like this one specific butterfly that kept coming around for a couple of weeks, and I took it as it was my mom visiting me and my granny, but mostly my mom, because it was that same butterfly. So I love them, and it was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful, and it just looked so free. It just looked like it was just wandering around freely, happily, flying, just in complete bliss, total bliss. Like, I'm out here, I'm outside, literally. But I'm free. I'm free from anything that anybody has tried to ever put on me. Any type of burdens, any type of sorrow, any type of, negative energy. I'm free of it. I'm free. So it represents freedom for me. It represents someone coming into my life trying to send me a message. It just represents so much. And then the beauty of it, of each butterfly individually, it's just so, they're gorgeous. So I have the butterflies, the purple butterflies in my head that match my bralette. And I want to normalize adults wearing barrettes. Like, I fuck with this. Like, I love these little clips. Like, they're so cute. And I used to have a charm, or it's not even a charm, it's a crystal. It was an amber crystal that I would let dangle from my hair, and I lost it. Had it in there for over a year. And woke up recently, like maybe like 2 months ago, and it was gone. And I was like, damn. And you know what they say about crystals: when they get lost, stolen, broken, that means that you no longer have a need for them. So, and I wore it every day. Never really took it off unless I was washing my hair. And even then, most of the time I didn't take it off. And I think I charged it under the moon once or twice. But I always left it in, and so that's how I knew that it was something that needed to go finally. I exhausted all of its energy. Maybe someone else can use it. I don't know, or maybe it's just going back into Mother Earth to be grounded again and reconnected. So I want to normalize barrettes or charms and things. I mean, it's already kind of normalized, especially within the lock community. We have these different charms and beads and stuff like that, but definitely, like, bring back the cutesy shit, like these butterflies, like colorful and meaningful and just cute and fun. So bring back that nostalgia. Okay, I always do this. I always about to end the podcast and then I start just rambling. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever that you listen. YouTube, iTunes, Google, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you are listening to. Please help me out. Please. I don't even care if you like just comment under it and tag somebody under like a ad that I post of a clip of the thing. Just tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't be stingy with this. Don't be stingy with this podcast. Tell everybody, shout out to the mountaintops. I'm really out here working, honey, and this is really meaningful to me. And I'm hoping that people can learn from me, from my experiences, from my mistakes. Like, that's how I prefer to teach. I prefer to learn for myself through my experiences and also through things that I've read, picked up along the way, other people that I follow that I feel are very reputable. But this is the best way, is if you just listen, and then we can form a community and talk about these things. And I want to form another Facebook community with other women, and I'm thinking about making it co-ed this time, and we just share our experiences and talk about these things and talk about like our spiritual journeys and all that shit. Like, I really want to do that. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I'll build the community. But I don't want to start it and then nobody joins type shit. Like, we ain't gonna waste time. My time is precious. My time is money. So but I appreciate y'all. Take a sip, one last sip with me. I still got quite a bit left. Ooh, one more. Whew. I think I am going to record another episode. Y'all going to see me in this again. All right, you guys. I love you. And thank you again for listening to Nudist Diary. I am your host once again, Dree, also known as the Sacred Genie. And Genie out.